off to rant. From the heart, never relent. This is the Tottenham supplement. Money well spent, feet stomping, heart stomping, ready for the event. Chasing glory every moment, heaven sent.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello to everyone out there. And we're going live here on a YouTube channel as well as on Instagram as well. So, and also this is being shared on our Facebook group. So, yeah, if you're all, if you're out and about there, make sure that you get locked into this. It is Crisandro, and this is, well, I actually thought we might just do something like, uh, just thought we'll just do like a little chat really. There's about half an hour to go of the transfer window, and well, we're just going to see how happy we are with the transfer window as it is. To my left, is my partner in crime, Shubes, or I hate Chrome as he's called on this occasion. How are you doing?
I'm actually a lot better with window than I was last week. You know, it's look, is it ideal? No. But apart, and I've said this before, I said this on numerous platforms. But apart from Liverpool, Chelsea, and maybe Arsenal, I mean, Liverpool have had an excellent window. There's no doubt they've had probably the best window. It's going to be a procession for them, unless they have like a massive set of injuries. I think it's a procession for them to the league title. But Chelsea have had a very, very good window. They've managed to get rid of some of their dead wood, which is incredible. Arsenal brought in Zubimendi, who's an excellent player. Gyökeres, who we were linked with last year, who surprisingly Amarin didn't try to sign. He went for Sesko instead, and Sesko was someone who was linked with Arsenal for many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I said, I mean, we seem to like. Is it perfect? No. Enough. I mean, but don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And we've, you know, Paulinho has, you know, we definitely needed a number 6. We've not had a number 6 since we got rid of Højbjerg. So now we have one, and we saw how good he was in those first 2 games. He was found wanting in maybe the third game, but I think that was just more Frank still learning about his players and like betting in. And I think, you know, I don't know what Thomas Frank will be doing these next 2 weeks. I'm hoping he has a bit of a break, but I'm guessing in the week, but I'm guessing between now and next week when the players are going to be getting here, the analyst team and everyone else will be pouring over training and everything else the last three games and trying to look for their patterns and all the stuff that AI can do in the algorithm. So yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about Simmons. I mean, the funny thing was I've only ever seen him play for Holland, so I don't actually know much about the lad beyond what I've seen play for Holland. But I mean, obviously he scored that blinder of a goal against England. Remember him for that, obviously. And you know, he's not to say a journeyman, but he's someone. He's very similar to Colin Moani. He had to leave PSG to find himself, and you know, and Colin Moani is someone that is you know, has come, you know, joined, you know, has, you know, decided to come to us, has decided to, you know, because I think because the one thing about this is a World Cup year, yeah, and in a World Cup year, you are going to have players, you know, you can't just sit on the bench for 3 months, you know. You know, I'm not saying the manager's mind is made up by January, because it isn't. Obviously, there's still injuries, stuff that can happen. But it's, you know, it is a World Cup year. You want to be playing.
Let me interrupt you a second there. They're just showing clips of Randall Colomoani just getting into a taxi. I think his medical would have been completed by now, so that looks like it's going to be made official very, very soon. All in just in time for the 7 p.m. deadline.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's not asked for a taxi fare and then ended up going to Highbury?
That only ever happened. I was gonna say only happened once. Yeah, it only happened once. That's Willian. That didn't happen again.
No, it wasn't William. It was Emmanuel Petit, apparently.
Petty,
He asked
what was he going to sign for us?
You're going to sign for us, and then apparently he asked Alan Sugar, said, "Look, I don't have any English money. Can I get some cab? Where can I get some cab? I need some money. Do you have any petty cash or something?" Someone gave some petty cash, and he went to Highbury or something, and then somehow contacted Arsene Wenger or something, and he took a cab over there.
I can't believe that's true.
I can imagine, given the incompetence of Alan Sugar, nothing surprises me. So. But no. Look, ultimately, I mean, if you look at Liverpool, yes, they've signed. I mean, obviously, forget. I mean, they obviously their off season started in tragedy. Let's not forget that. And they've really, not responded, but they rebounded. They've brought in some really good players. I mean, Etikite, obviously we remember him against us for Eintracht Frankfurt. Scored against us. Good shining, pacey. Can play very similar to kind of Colin Moani. Can play on the left wing and as a striker. I do wonder what this means now for Matisse Tell and Wilson Odobert, because essentially you've got the younger version. You've got basically got their understudy for. Basically, you got the French under 21 being the understudy for the French international, essentially. But if anything, it shows him like this is what you got to be showing in training. Because he has played for France at a World Cup. I think he missed that last minute goal or something, which he missed something in the last minute. I'm sure he scored. He was in that World Cup final. He was definitely in there in the last 15-20 minutes.
The World Cup final. What? Who are you referring to here? Tell.
No, Miranda Colomani.
Oh yes.
I think he missed something in the very last minute, so they ended up going to penalties or something. But
yes, I think.
But I'm saying that this is a guy that's played at that level. You don't get to play in the World Cup final if you're not a good player. And and I think if I'm Matisse Tell, I'm like, that's who I want to be learning from. I want to be saying, like, this guy's in my position. I want to be able to beat this guy out. So whatever he's doing, if he's doing like, I don't know, a 100 meters in 20 seconds, I want to be doing 19. I want to be doing in 19.9, if that makes sense. For both of them, for both Odobert and Tell. This is your competition. This is your competition. This is where you want to be at. Show us. We should pick you above this guy, ahead of this guy.
Are you happy that the deal is only a straight loan for a season? I know that they're currently kind of talking about to each other about whether to make it a not an obligation. What's the other one? An option to buy.
But, I think here's the thing though. You've got players like Will Lancashire who are due to come back. Will Lancashire scored on the side. Just because he scored in the Championship on the side, I think he scored 2 goals already. Look, I'm not saying it was a tap in, but he had to react quickest. So he can definitely as a strikers have to be able to sniff goals. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they're there to sniff their chances and take their chances. He did that. So it's about not blocking a pathway. I think it protects both players. It gives him. If PSG want to take him back, they can. I don't think they will, because apparently. So, but a guy who's, I'm not going to say my Twitter handle because I won't. But there's a guy I speak to on Twitter, and he's saying like Enrique apparently hates him, has alienated him from the team or something, and so he's like so. But the thing is, one of the Premier League, because of how wealthy it is, we have a comparative advantage in being able to sign players. The only competition we really have is other Premier League sides, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, if they weren't so brassic, and that's it. Because the Italian clubs don't spend like that. I mean, not like they used to. The way they used to spend huge amounts of money back in the day, they just can't do that anymore. They just haven't got the funds or the liquidity to do that. Not like they used to. And even the Saudi Pro League has cut back its spending from back in the day. like when they were spending. Do you remember like when the Chinese Super League was spending like stupid amounts on players, and then they kind of
They went bust.
I think they went bust and they kind of won their neck in it. Now I can't imagine the Saudi Pro League going bust anytime too soon. But do you see what I'm saying? I think they've decided no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to. They've got the World Cup. They're going to start building the league. They want to start building their league, so they have some homegrown players when the Saudi Arabians actually do play in in 2030. No, like I said, I mean I'm happy. I mean, is it like I said? I think Chelsea. I know is it Liam Delap? He got a hamstring injury, so he can miss a whole bunch of the season due to his hamstring injury. He's got a really bad hamstring injury apparently.
Yes, yeah.
So which begs the question why they sold Jackson, because I don't know who their other striker is going to be, but maybe they'll just pay Pedro through the middle, because he is in terms of his ability on the ball, he's what I'd want Brian Jensen to be. He's confident with the ball.
Yeah, I understand that they just signed Buonanotte on loan from Brighton, haven't they? So I'm not quite sure what his position is. I don't think it's a striker, is it?
I don't know what their position is. I mean, if you look at say where we were weak. I mean, if you look at say Man United, they were weak in midfield. We outran them in midfield, and instead of sorting out their midfield and bringing in somebody, I know they got Casemiro's on high wages, Antony's on high wages, Sancho's on high wages, and everything else. Yeah, I mean, like Sancho was someone we could have easily brought in. We chose not to go for him, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's an attitude problem or something. A lot of clubs have decided not to go for Sancho, and the fact that he's gone to Aston Villa, no disrespect to them, but they are, considering how high their wage to revenue turnover was last season. Obviously, they don't have the Champions League revenue this year, so they've had to trim the wages quite a lot. Last year they were able to sign Asensio, Rashford. I don't know who else they were able to sign. This year they've had to sell. Last year they sold? Was it the Colombian lad? I forgot his name. John Duran.
John Duran, yeah, Duran's cousin.
And apparently he has a friend called Rio, and she dances on the sand. But what's the word? And then they've sold Jacob Ramsey to Newcastle. And even if you look at Newcastle, I mean, they've had to spend what was it, the entire Isak fee on two players, and one player who's 29. So this is his last major contract. There's no resale value.
Just about to sign for Newcastle.
Yeah, so there's no resale value on that unless they sell into the Saudi Pro League, and even then, I'm sure there'll be some weird. I'm sure they'll find a way to recoup the money from that. There'll be some weird. There will not be some weird money laundering to, mask the value of that transaction.
Between the Saudi Pro League and the Saudi
Saudi wealth fund. Yeah, but and then you've got. I saw was it Valder, whatever his name is, the German lad. I saw him play for the German under-21s, and he was very good.
He is good, yeah.
He is very good, but whether he's going to be, the person that, there's a reason why Bayern Munich didn't go for him. I'm not saying to be fair, there aren't that many people that players can go for really in Germany apart from Bayern Munich, and I'm not going to go there. Who would go there with Harry Kane being in that team? So, but the teams like Leverkusen, Eintracht Frankfurt, who sold Etiquette, they chose not to sign him. I think Frankfurt had Marmouche and Etiquette last year, and they chose and they banked a lot of change, and they didn't drop that money on this German, this on. So
Nicholas Voltonado.
Yeah. Oh my god, he sounds like Voldemort, doesn't he? That poor kid sounds like Voldemort. But I've never seen Harry Potter. I've only seen one film against my will, and tried to fall asleep through most of it. But no, look, if you look at the signings we've made, Kudus, look, I am so glad that we have got in a Ghanaian player.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I was really hoping we'd get two Ghanaian players and get Semenyo as well, because Semenyo look how good he was on Saturday. He was fantastic. But credit to the lad. I mean, I think Semenyo was actually a player. I think he was in League One or something, League Two, and he feels
Would
a
have been. He
real.
came all the way from Bournemouth, didn't he? No, did he come with
Yeah,
Bournemouth? No.
I don't know if he came up with Bournemouth, but he feels a real sense
Mm.
of loyalty to Bournemouth. Who knows? Maybe
Mm.
next year he might decide to move on. But Ghana, they're not in the AFCON this year, are they? They're not in the AFCON this year.
Other than
Ghana.
qualify.
But are they going to qualify for the World Cup? Are they going to put all their eggs in that World Cup basket qualification, or are they still able to qualify for that?
I'll find out. You carry on talking. I'll find out.
The reason I say that is that he might not want to move, given that it's a World Cup year. Yeah, he's like, well, we're still in chance for World Cup. I've got to settle in. Everything else, I just want to, I think this year hold the fire. If I can get to a World Cup. So yeah, I mean, you've got some. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I think the World Cup is still up for grabs for qualifications for a lot of clubs, a lot of countries. I'm assuming, and obviously you've got playoffs and everything else. So I mean, I think we've gotten Kudus, who I'm really happy we signed. Simons, who I think gives us balance. We have two sorts of creativity. I don't think that's enough creativity, but that being said, we've got Jamie Donnelly to come back next season. We have James Maddison to come back probably next season now because it's an ACL. There's no way he comes back at the end of the season. It'll be a miracle if he's even remotely fit. And given how his knee is, and I think he misses the whole year. Because I think Rodri miss all of last? I think he played a few matches into the beginning of the Premier League, and then he got injured against Arsenal, and then he was out for the whole year, wasn't he, Rodri?
Yeah, pretty much was. Yeah.
And I think the only reason that I think if you think about it, Rodgers, he went down in February. He came back in December, but it still took him about another 6 months to a year to come back to anything like the levels he was pre-injury. And I think Matty Cash injured him again or something. I'm sure Matty Cash injured him in a match.
I can't remember, but that wouldn't surprise me if that's the case.
Because I remember that because when we played Aston Villa again, it was like Matty, what's the score, Matty? There's a real hatred for Matty Cash. There's a real honestly, but no, and obviously I don't know what's happening with Cullen Mawani, but I'm assuming that deal is on its way, and I think
That looks like Sky just saying that the medical's still continuing, so yeah, it should be on its way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you do worry if there's going to be whatchamacallit. Well, yeah. Do you remember? Like, was it? Oh God, he went to Chelsea in the end. He went to Newcastle and then he went to Chelsea. I forgot his name though. I think he was from like the Ivory Coast or Senegal, maybe.
Went to Newcastle
and like
went
Stoke.
To
no, he was going to Stoke. I think it was because he went with Cisse to Stoke, to Newcastle. Sorry. And basically there was some problem with his knee or something, and Stoke decided not to sign him. And then he went to Newcastle, and then he ended up going to Chelsea, scoring the goal that basically stopped Steven Gerrard winning a league title or something after that slip up.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know the guy you mean now. Yes. I even remember the smile now. What's his name? Oh, anyway, carry on. I'll find out because that's got to be.
But apparently, like you got Solo, because obviously I think Solo is on his way out. I don't. That guy deserves to have first team football, and I think Benfica are in the Champions League, so they can pay his wages. I don't. Are we playing Benfica? I don't think Benfica's in our group. They're not in our.
No,
not in our group.
They're not. Benfica, no.
But,
fixtures.
They're not in our fixtures. Although we do have Benfica though, because they basically screwed us out of our first champion. Gemma Bar, that's it, Gemma Bar.
Demba Bar, no, Gemba is that Man United player that's terrible.
Yeah. But I'm saying that apart from the injury, that obviously the knee issue that he had, I don't think there's an issue. I think he scored about. I think Colin Moani. Obviously, I don't know. Obviously, it's Juventus, so he might have just scored a whole bunch of goals against, I don't know, Salernitana. I mean, I don't want to insult Salernitana fans, But I'm just saying he might have scored like a whole bunch of goals against the bottom end of Serie A. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got, because I'm sure there was a club. Because the thing is, people say like, and I'm not a Levy lover, but I think there's a club in Italy that literally have gone bankrupt, and the guy has just walked away from them. So I think it was Cellino who owned Leeds. He then took over this Italian
Yes.
club, and now that club doesn't even exist anymore. They have
Oh,
to like do
okay.
some. I forgot the name of the team. Yeah.
But yeah, what was that not been on my radar? Usually I'm up to on these sort of
Well,
things.
because I listen to a lot of was it Sienna or something? I can't remember.
Sienna. Okay. Let's have a look at that.
I don't know. It was a Cagliari, and he owned it.
Cagliari.
Cagliari or
Yes.
Brescia or something, and they've
Oh, it's Brescia. No, it's Brescia.
Brescia,
That's I know they went bust. Yeah, that's one.
they went bust,
Yeah, it's
and
awful bust.
they don't exist anymore. He just thought screw it, and they're now relegated from Serie B or something, and it's just But like I said,
Yes.
he's let's just say that he's like I said, the chairman doesn't have the bottle for it doesn't have the nerve of say of a true closer. He hasn't got that. He much as he may think he does, but ultimately he hasn't done a Ridsdale, which is hardly
No, I hear you. Anyway, I just
So like
thought
I said,
it's about 10 minutes to go before the window closes, and it looks like it's kind of like calming down a bit now, considering the frantic nature
well,
of this morning.
I think the ways it goes, the deals have to be. You can do the paperwork after 7 o'clock, but you have to get the deal over the line before 7 or something. So the two clubs have to agree the deal, but the paperwork and the registration can happen after 7.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, like, was it Vuskovic has gone to Hamburg? I don't know whether he wants to admit to his, but admit to his. He basically said, "Look, Romero and Van der Ven are playing there, so I'm not going to get ahead of them, but I am going to get ahead of the guys who are at Hamburg." I think that just translates badly, but it's just
Well,
more.
that's
It's just more. But I think it's nice to look. At the end of the day, Romero is a World Cup winning not captain. He didn't win the World Cup. He was captain of Argentina, but he's won the World Cup. I think Van der Ven is probably, if it wasn't for his injuries, I'm like, you can imagine Real Madrid would have signed him. He's just he is the ultimate cheat code with his pace and everything else. He's just such a good cheat code. If we can keep him fit, he is going to be a huge difference maker to us. I have no idea how good Takai is. But then again, I don't know
Japanese
how he
special.
will. Yeah, but I don't. But and then I didn't know how good Kim Min Jae was. And then I think he was obviously he was a Fenerbahce rather than coming from the K League at the time. But he's proven to be an excellent player for Napoli anyway, if not so much for Bayern Munich.
Which I said he would be. I said we missed out on the trick there.
But like I said, but just like I said, he's not good for Bayern Munich. He might not done well for us either. When you never, like I said, it's like if you look at say De Bruyne, he came over to Chelsea. He was hardly he was playing, but he wasn't really pulling up trees. And then he went to Germany, and then he was definitely the team at Wolfsburg. The team was built around his talents, and then he went to obviously Man City, where the team was again built around him, and he flourished. So I said I'm not going to bin off any player. Like I said, I don't think if we hadn't bought Simmons in, I would have been annoyed at the window. But we've got some creativity. He's not our only creativity. We've got that in. We've bought a striker in because I think there's a video. I can't remember. Is it James Madison's vlog? And they show like he's wearing this weird kind of like trainer, like boot kind of thing. Dominic Solanke. So he's clearly had issues with his ankle. So why they let him travel to Hong Kong when you're
medical still ongoing, by the way. Just letting people know.
Yeah.
Medical still ongoing with Colin Mooney. Oh, I just wanted
But
to add that they just showed a scene from St James's Park, and there's a banner that's just been erected outside the stadium, and it says in big black letters, "Isaac is a rat," and the rest of it I couldn't quite read, but then it says "Toon" at the bottom. They are not happy up in Jewelryland.
yeah,
They are
but then
far.
again, they had no problem bringing in Vissa. I mean, like, so about Colin Mooney basically went on the strike, said, "I'm not training unless I can move to PSG." That for me is a huge flag.
Hmm. That's true.
We're signing him. So, ultimately there is a power asymmetry in football. If Real Madrid, they wanted that Stuttgart guy. I forgot his name. I forgot what his name was. The one that, and then they brought him in, and he did nothing. But that same, I think that was the year. Either they won the Champions League that year, or that was the year after Champions League. They didn't, they bend him off. They brought in someone else, and they won it in 24. So
The Stuttgart guy. I don't know who you mean.
I can't remember who it was. It was some player. I can't remember what his name was now. But what I'm saying is, you don't get these opportunities to go for really huge clubs. And Newcastle is a big club in Northumberland. Liverpool is probably the biggest club in England, or the co-biggest club in England, alongside Man United. They're one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and this is a great opportunity for him. So I can't blame him. And same with this, I feel bad for Brentford. I thought we were going to get Brentford relegated because they've been forced to sell. They've lost whatchamacallit, their manager and most of their coaching staff. They've lost Visser. So
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Once they get to grips with Keith Andrew. Is it Keith? Something Andrew. What's his name again?
Keith Andrews.
Yes, Keith Andrews, yeah. Once they get the grips with him and what he wants, then they'll be fine. It's all about a new settling in period and a new kind of philosophy. They'll be okay. So 3 minutes and 51 seconds left of the window. And it looks like our business is done.
Yeah.
So
I said we've
So what do you think? I mean, we go through the I know you touched on it earlier. We go through the players that we had when we first signed Kota Takai, and I know everyone was like doing the Danny Rose at that point and Google searching him. But good player. Seems kind of strange.
People Google searching Lucas Bergwijn. People could probably Google searching Lucas Bergwijn, and he ended up being our player of the season.
True. But what I was going to say is that it seems kind of strange that he signs and is immediately injured. I'm just wondering if he was injured before the medical or whatnot, but it's just odd.
Well, it's like I'm trying to think, what's that player's name? It's like is it what do you call it? I don't think Dominic Solanke had any injury issues at Liverpool or at Chelsea or at Bournemouth, really, and he's been with us less than a year, and just over a year now, and he's had nothing but injury problems. So, but look, we had three. Well, by the end of the day, we had three strikers. I was saying was it a guy called Jason Diamos? Name check him out. You've got Dominic Solanke who's competing with Ollie Watkins to be Harry Kane's backup for the World Cup. You've got Richarlison, who will want to be playing because he wants to be Brazil's number 9. You have Colin Mooney, who's played in the World Cup final, will want to play in another. So he will, obviously, I'm not saying he's going to get ahead of Mbappe or Ousmane Dembele, but he'll want to be in that France squad. And the only way he gets in that France squad, ahead of someone like Etikite, is to show quality for Tottenham. So if you look at it that way, you've got 3 players who want to be at a World Cup, who are competing for, to play up front. You've got Richarlison, who can play on the left wing. You got, I think, he's competing with, was it Odebear, with Tell, who else? Brennan Johnson. You've got 4 or 5 players competing to play on the left wing. So we have competition for places, and that's kind of what you want.
That's what it's all about.
The only place we don't have really competition really is, I don't know, lack of creativity. But that's if Kulusevski is able to come back. Apparently, he might not be back until December, and then even then, it'll take him at least a month to get up to speed. just in terms of building his fitness, so like grass work and everything else. Hopefully, we'll let him like do some of his like grass work and warm weather training. We'll let him do some of that. So like just go abroad, go to Dubai. I think didn't Harry Wings do that? They went to Dubai or Qatar or something to do some of his fitness and rehab. So hopefully we'll let so just doing warm weather training. Don't pull a hamstring or whatever. It's warm outside. Get your fitness up, and eventually we'll go from like Dubai to like Italy, and then Italy to England or something. So you can acclimatize. But it's just the case of we've got
30 seconds left to the window, everybody.
Oh, it's like the New Year's clock. I think I might do like I think I might actually I might even show my camera so I can do like the whole so tell me when it's 5 because then I can do the whole tell me when it's 5.
Well, I suppose, but here it goes. You're actually counting it down now on TV.
5.
And there's 3 seconds
4,
remaining.
3,
And
2.
there we go. Window
Live from
closed.
BBC News. Live from BBC News.
So we're just showing along the bottom there the actual deals that we have done and the latest news. That currently Randall Colomwani is actually having is continuing the medical right now, and as they show Big Ben at striking 7, the scenes are crazy. You can see there the role of the players that the confirmed ones from especially from last season that were on loan and we just bought them now, and also the ones that are now confirmed as well. And
here's the thing, though:
down there.
we finished 5th. We finished 5th the season before last, and obviously we had a lot of injuries in the following season because obviously we're playing 2 games a week and everything else. But I do feel for Ange. But like I said, we've brought in 4 first teamers. Last year we only brought in the 1. This year we brought in 4, at least. And was it Colomwani, Simons, Paulinho, and Kudus? Yeah, I'm so looking forward to having some good. Do you know what? I just realised I haven't had jollof rice in ages. And the thing is, in around Tottenham, all the jollof rice restaurants are actually Nigerian. So I don't. Yeah, even though jollof rice actually is from Senegal, but still.
Hey, if they made enough noise about it, then maybe. If they made enough noise, maybe.
I think there are 6 countries that claim jollof rice. So anyway, it's like 3 countries that claim biryani. So do you know what I'm saying?
I can acknowledge that it probably originated in Senegal because the language of Senegal is Wolof, and that's obviously sounds way too suspiciously close to a Jollof. So that's why I think that,
I'm saying what we've brought in 4 first teamers. We've brought in 2 players who have potential to. I mean, like Luka Vuskovic, we've given him a loan. I mean, Hamburg, I think they lost 2-0 to St. Pauli, but he's going to get a shitload of game time.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's going to get a shitload of game time at Hamburg. And that means that we get a player who at 19 will have played, you want to be bringing in really good talent. I think, let's face it, I think Alex Gold did this actually. And he goes, look, we didn't sign a Kanji or whatever. We weren't able to sign him because is he going to want to swap Man City's bench for our bench? No. And I'm not saying, I'm hopefully like that injury that they had, like, I mean, I think apparently Ange did admit that he goes, look, I didn't prepare the team properly post the Copa and Euros, and that's why we had a lot more injuries. I don't think, and the sports science. I mean, I don't think it's all on Ange. He can only go but on the advice of his sports science guys. And if you look at the people that are still here from last year, it's only Matty Wells. I mean, like the 2 Scottish people Scottish coaches, the ones who brought in from Scotland, they've gone. We've got rid of what's his name? Oh God, what was it? The one that was at Palace. So it was Mary Jedinak, the Palace, ex-Palace keeper. And like, I'm not saying that Ryan Mason would have stayed. Do you know what I'm saying? Would have been kept on because they really do like Ryan Mason, but he's like doing pretty well. I think I know it was only early days, but they're like. Well. He's not top of the league, but he's in the top automatic spots or something, or player spots. It's a long way to go in this season. But so hopefully we can get things sorted. I mean, like Richarlison, had broken down a lot of times last year. I remember when he actually helped. I think I was at that. I think we were with me at that Villa game where he helps set up Dominic Solanke and then goes down injured again. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yes, I do.
And it was just like I was
He
like,
was
he
limping out.
can't.
Yeah,
The
didn't
poor,
he?
and then like he just kept on, having injury after injury, and that's. I mean, if I'm Dane Scarlett, the only person that's annoyed about, I mean, Dane Scarlett, I don't think he can go out on loan now, but
Nah,
hopefully,
yeah, it's kind of ruined his career. I think. By the way, West Brom are currently second in the table, so yeah, Ryan Mason doing very well.
but I mean, I'm just saying that aside from obviously like not being able to ship out. I mean, I don't know what's happening with Solo and Brian Hill. I think Biss is still around. I don't think we'll bomb squad him out because that doesn't help out anyone. But I think Basuma, unless he does something like at the end of the day, Jed Spence was considered to be on the outs last year, and then suddenly he turned it around. Okay, what's stopping Basuma from doing the same thing? What's stopping Basuma from basically prove to Thomas Frank that I should be on the subs bench ahead of Archie Gray. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think because what's stopping them from doing that is the fact that I think they've only had like I don't know. I'm just getting spitballing a figure here. They had like 7 training sessions, and he's already late for 5 of them. That sort of thing. That's probably why,
I'm not saying I'm not excusing him. I'm just saying that. I mean, apparently Jed Spence he was called unprofessional by Daniel Farker, and he then went to Genoa, and Genoa were like, we may keep him, we may not. I'm just saying that it takes. I'm not saying he's gonna start drinking the Kool-Aid and see the light, but it's a very short career. He's won the Europa League, and great for him. Yes, he's played in the Premier League, which is great for him. But I think he wants more from his career. I think you should want to have the best career you can have. You only get one shot at this career, and you have a limited time frame for this. So hopefully he will show his worth. I'm not like I think I feel bad. Makes I feel guilty because I did jinx Bisk. I said, you know what, man? I mean, like if someone said to me, who would I want? Basuma or Dembele. The way Dembele's playing, Basuma's playing right now. And then obviously that next game he ends up getting himself sent off against Luton, and then his career never recovered really after that.
Yeah, pretty much.
We brought in 6 players into this team. Do you remember when we brought in 7 players, 7 first-team players? Remember that? How well did that work? That one work out?
No, very true. No. That's very true. Yeah, no, it's very true. I mean, but then again, back then it was all like a scattergun approach, which is where, now we've got, it was more important to like.
It wasn't meant to be scattergun though. We had Franco. Really. It was scattergun, but the whole idea is that we had Franco Baldini, who knew the English league, knew English players because he'd been coaching with what's that guy called? Fabio Capello. So he was part of Fabio Capello. So he'd been scouting England players. He knew, he was a very. I don't know what Baldini has done since then, but he was meant to be like a very astute person, and then didn't. I suppose what
I'm saying now is that now it's more a cohesive thing. We got the now we've got 2 directors of football almost. I mean, got Langer and Paratici looks like he's going to be coming back in, and then you obviously got the manager, and then you got the coaches, and then you obviously got the board. It's actually more cohesive than it was back then. I mean, it just looks like it's a more seamless kind of thing. The manager will say, "I want this kind of player," and that's where Langer and then that's where Paratici go in and say, "Okay,
and
we see the profile, and there we go." And this is how it should work. I mean, especially if you're hiring a head coach, which is what Thomas Frank is. If you're going to hire a manager, then that's going to be a little different, which is what I don't know, what was the last manager we had? I can't remember. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is how dumb we were. Roma basically sacked Baldini, and then he became our technical director. And
Yeah.
apparently he
Well,
admitted that, but he got rid of Enrique while he was at Roma, and then put in Zeman, and then he ended up saying, "Oh, that, by the way, do you know what? 2012, 2013 season, the reason that was so bad was it's all my fault." So basically, we hired incompetent people that even then. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not as if. So and I
yeah.
don't, and to be totally fair, since he left our technical director, he has literally done nothing since then. Do you know what I mean? He's done nothing
Well, not,
since in the world of
nothing of
football.
note anyway.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he's been involved in football, and I'm just looking at Wikipedia, but he's done nothing, anything meaningful since he's actually left. So that
Okay,
says it all.
strange.
So what I'm saying is, we basically bought 7 Beatles, only one of whom really was any good, and even then Ericsson. I think there are parallels if you think about it with Ericsson and Simmons, because Ericsson was meant to be like he was the hot talent. Everyone knew Ericsson was going to be an amazing player, but it kind of stalled for him, and he ended up coming to us instead of going to, say, a Bayern Munich or to Italy or Spain. And eventually, obviously, he did end up getting his move to Italy because he wanted a change. He had been playing at our club for 7 years, and the club had gone kind of stale. But ultimately, if you look at, say, we signed Simons because Chelsea chose not to pull the trigger. I mean, they signed Pedro instead of signing Simons. But then again, though, I'm trying to think of any players that we signed that other clubs wanted but didn't sign. I think Arsenal wanted Jan Vertonghen, but they wanted him to play as a midfielder, and he was like, "Fuck that shit! I want to be a defender." And we got, apart from that year he had concussion, we had an amazing Jan Vertonghen for 6 out of 8 years, apart from when he down tools under Sherwood. That was it. We
Yeah,
had
I remember that.
an amazing player then. Then Ballet was linked with Man United. They didn't get the deal over the line. And
Oh,
let's face
just
it,
before you carry on, I just want to say that Palace have signed in the centre back, JD Canvot. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but yeah, I guess
it's,
that paves the way for Gurhey to
well,
sign for Liverpool.
well, I guess so. Yeah, I don't think there's. It's a bit unfortunate on this poor like 19-year-old to a place like Margate. That's a tall order to ask, but they kept Adam Morton, which is actually a huge thing, because apparently there's. So the thing is, they're outstanding deals, but you've got until 9 o'clock, and I'm not going to stay here till 9 o'clock to fucking figure out whether. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying there's a whole. If you look at it, I looked at it at Lyle Thomas now. He said, "Look, you've got Lehman's to Man United, Elliott and Sancho to Aston Villa. Fofana, is that Fofana? Is that the player that Leicester, Chelsea, that was at Leicester that went to? Did he break his leg or something? And then he went to Chelsea.
Did. Yeah, I want to say yes. That's the same player.
So I mean, that's when you've got like a whole bunch of players looking to come into Fulham. Is it Reece Nelson going to Brentford? I mean, that's still nowhere near enough for what they need.
Only on loan as well, so
I mean, Hinchcapi may or may not go to Arsenal, but I wanted to sign Calafiori, and we didn't sign him, and he's not really lifted any trees at Arsenal, has he? Not really.
No, I mean it's kind of causing kind of consternation. There's a certain YouTuber that goes public by saying that he mocks the Arsenal fans for the fact that they say that he's fun to watch, but he doesn't offer anything. So
Is
he's
that
not happy.
the same Arsenal fan that said that apparently because the Queen died, that's the reason why Arsenal didn't win the league title the following year?
No. You're talking about no. He's a wacky Nigerian, and that's not him. This is the other one who's a bit more bored out. Arteta out. Everything.
But I'm saying,
everyone else.
if you think about it, they signed a player called Vieira at Arsenal, and last year they booted him on, and they booted him onto Hamburg. So it's like I said, everyone speculates to accumulate. It doesn't always work out. We've signed a whole bunch of players. We don't know how many of them will work out. I mean, Paulinho could have the season of his life and decide I'm joining Liverpool next year or something, because there's no. I think there's an option to buy, but there's no obligation. It's not a case of like he's.
Sure?
It's not like a Danso deal. You know, like a Danso was like we bought him on loan, but then we were obligated to sign him. And so
Okay.
no, I mean,
Yeah,
look, I mean, I'm trying to think. If you look at Arsenal's ends, Zubimendi is a huge player that they've brought in, and that will allow Declan Rice to play as a box-to-box player. But
yeah, he's all right. I wouldn't say he's yeah, wouldn't say he's all that.
No, Zoom. I thought he was. I thought when was it last? Was it? To be fair, again, I've only seen him for Spain, so I don't know how good he is at club level. But at Spain,
see, like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah, but I won't say that I've watched him all the time. But the few games I've watched Real Sociedad, it just didn't look. I was like, okay, what's all the fuss about? You know.
Well, the thing is, it's like Fabian Ruiz. I mean, like, if you're playing with Fabian Ruiz and Rodri, then obviously you're going to look fantastic with them. Do you know what I'm saying? As a result, I don't know how good he is. I'm not saying but I think they wanted him last year. Was it Liverpool wanted him? So clearly he's a player He's a player they recognise having talent. So, I mean, like I said, Edison's gone to Fenerbahce, wasn't it? We were linked to him, wasn't he? Edison, no. Oh, sorry, Edison from.
No, we went with
Edison from Man City. So I'm thinking of Edison from Atalanta.
Oh, you mean the midfielder? No, yeah, it's a different one.
Yeah, and apparently I don't know where he's gone to. He's not gone to. He's not going anywhere, has he?
Nah, it's
Lookman hasn't moved on to. I think the deal was going to. Apparently, he was going to go to what's that club called? Bayern Munich. But apparently, that deal hasn't happened either.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would have been a great move for him.
Yeah, apparently they made an approach, but apparently that hasn't happened. We were linked to him, but then we signed Colin Mawani. And so, look, at the end of the day, I'm glad we didn't sign, because look, at the end of the day, if we sign Colin Mawani and Lookman, then Tell and Odebe have no chance of getting that team. At least this way, they've got. You have to give them halfway.
Rotation, isn't it? As I say, it's all like rotation, and we are trying to fight on four fronts. Even I like what Frank said that we have fighting on four fronts. I presume he means fighting for the title. What we shall see. If he jumps up and down and celebrating fourth place, and I know that wasn't the guy that I thought he was.
Well, no, I don't think he's a celebrate fourth place, but for a guy that's basically, when he brought up Brentford, his whole job was just to avoid relegation with them. And if you think about
and
it,
now he's at a bigger club.
And is it the G? I keep calling it Griffin Park. It's the G-Tech Stadium.
The G-Tech, yeah.
G-Tech. But like at the end of the day, Brentford were a selling club. And it was about keeping them their heads above water.
Yeah.
Because
getting revenue.
Getting revenue and selling a player every season or something. Oh, Emi Martinez is not moving to Man City. Oh, that will be interesting.
Why would Martinez want to move to Man City anyway?
No, Man City. Man United.
Man United. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be a huge payday for him. It's going to be a huge payday for him. That's probably the reason why.
Oh, I mean, Man United. Why would you want to move there anyway? I mean, he probably needs to be the best player.
It's a huge payday for him. It's a huge payday for him. They have a shitty goalkeeper. They have two shitty goalkeepers.
More along the lines of. Well, I'm thinking more along the lines of what to expect or what to challenge for. I don't think even though Man United is
the guy's won the World Cup. Do you think? I think he's like, well, do you know what? Chances are I'm not going to go to PSG. Chances are I'm not going to go to Real Madrid or any of those clubs, Barcelona. So I might as well cash in now.
I guess so. I guess. Anyway, I did interrupt you while you were talking about the players that we had signed already. So we talked about Kota Takai just about. Kevin Dunn, I was happy with that one. That just been confirmed. So confirmed the loan from last season, as was Luka Vuskovic, who's gone out on loan to Hamburg, out in Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Matas Tell made permanent as well, and so far I haven't had a look in. He plays a few minutes here and there, but I was quite happy with that one. I know a lot of people weren't, but I was quite happy with that one. Takai we touched on Mohammed Kudus. Your thoughts on
Well,
Mohammed Kudus?
I think it's interesting because I think I think personally, I think with Brand Johnson, he gets a lot of crap, and I give him a lot of crap because I don't think he does enough with the ball. Well, he's going to have to now do stuff with the ball because ultimately he's got Colin Mawani, he's got Tell, he's got Odebear, he's got Richarlison. He's got Decky to come back. I don't know how Wales are doing in their World Cup qualifying. I don't think are they going to qualify for this World Cup? Probably not.
It looks like they're going to qualify for the second stage. They're top of their group by a long way. Nigeria at the moment are struggling, but
It's in like no, I'm saying Wales are they top of their group?
Oh, I thought talking about Kudus. Wales, they're not. Carry on, I'll find out.
No, I'm just saying that he's obviously got a World Cup to play for, but he'll want to be part of any team that he wants to be playing football. He's young, he's 22, 23. So
they're currently second in their group. Above, they played 2 more games than Belgium, but they're second, just a point behind leaders North Macedonia.
I forgot the powerhouse team that is North Macedonia.
Well, Belgium are on the wane; they're third. So yeah, Wales could actually be in the World Cup.
So that's what I'm saying. You've got, if you've got that World Cup carrot dangling over you, you are going to want to play at your best, and. So no, I mean, I said it's not. Like I said Chelsea. I'm trying to think who Chelsea signed. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna look at. I'm just gonna wiki it up now because.
While you're on that one, then I'll have a look at the other players that we got in. Joao Palhinha we talked about as well. Great signing. That was needed because it has been a while since we had a proper number 6 that could just sit there and be a number 6. And
Well, no, I mean, how many? Rodri's the only number 6 that can play as a passing hub. He's the only number 6 I know that can both put his foot in.
Yeah, but he likes to go forward as well.
Yeah, but go forward.
Palhinha could just sit.
I'm saying how many players? I'm saying like Palhinha can do that. I mean, think about it. Pau Pedro, he is. If you think about it, he could actually rival Richarlison for that number 9 slot. Just think about it.
Or for Brazil.
Yeah. If he has a good season for Chelsea at number 9, because that's why they're probably playing. Because if you look at who they brought in, I'm trying to look at those. Look at the transfers in. Transfers in, because obviously I don't know if they had any players that transfers. So they bought that Estevao, who's meant to be some ridiculously good player. They bought Garnacho. They bought Gittins. I mean, if you look at it, they bought in Jamie Gittins, who apparently is English. I had no idea he's actually English.
He is, yeah.
But they've brought in Estevao, Hato. They brought in some serious. I mean, I don't know how good Mamadou Sarr is or Diarra, whatever his name is, Sugo, but they brought in some serious amount of players. I mean, obviously Liam Delap's injured, but
I don't imagine when they will play. Really, they're just going to flip them, I guess.
Well, I mean, didn't they? I remember they signed this Ukrainian player. I think he had like some weird scandal or something, so. He got caught for steroids or something.
Modric.
Midrick, yeah.
That's the one. But yeah, I mean, but they're just going. I think they got a transfer ban coming up soon anyway, so that's why they're buying tons of players right now.
To be fair, they managed to shift out. I mean, like if you look at they've shifted out a shitload of players. I mean, they've got how they sold Madueke for 50 million. How the hell thought that'd be a good signing? But Dewsbury Hall, they got rid of him.
That's what I mean. They're just flipping players.
But they're not getting the real value. I mean, like in Nkunku, they bought for so they bought in Nkunku. They sold in Nkunku. They bought him for 52 million. They sold him for 32 million. So that is just clearly not going to work. I mean, And then Kunko, if you think about it, he was at 4 years at Paris Saint-Germain. He went to RB Leipzig, which got him to move to Chelsea, and he didn't really do anything with Chelsea, did he? Think about it.
No, he was basically injured. That's why.
He was injured, but when he did play, he didn't really contribute that much, though. 27, 3 goals in 27 games?
Yeah, that's because he had to try and get his fitness back, and obviously at Chelsea you don't get that time to get eased in. So yeah, just literally big parts here and there. So it was never going to flourish once he got back from injury. It's unfortunate because at the time I thought Nkunku was a good player, and now he's to try and rebuild his career.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I look at that team. I mean, like
on paper, yes, looks all right. But
I mean, injuries. I mean, obviously, like I think the fact that Madison having an ACL injury is a freak injury. That is something you cannot legislate for. But if you know about it, you should be looking to bring in players. They did try and bring in Morgan Gibbs-White. That didn't happen. They did try to bring in was it Eze? Clearly, that didn't happen. But and then this is the guy that couldn't keep his word. He was like, we signed. He apparently verbal agreement. A man's only as good as his word, and he decided to piss off. So, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true.
I don't wish, but although I can imagine though, I'm trying to think who'd give him a good kick in. I don't know, because I'm thinking it's going to be because that's not really Pedro's style, is it?
Not really, no.
Although
he has a bit of lip on him.
Yeah, but I'm saying we still have Ben Davies, who's I mean, like you've got, you'll have to rotate him in occasionally, and sometimes you'll have to play players 2 games a week. But you got Kota Kai, who eventually will hopefully come through. Archie Gray, who we did play at centre half. It's not ideal, but we might need to play him at centre half or at right back again if need be. I mean, if you look at, say, Liverpool aside, again, squad wise, and maybe Arsenal, no one really has, and maybe Chelsea because they've put tons of players in, but no one really has the squad that they. I mean, like that even if you buy, like, say, 10 players. You still have a whole bunch of players you can't. I mean, last year they had literally their bomb squad was playing in the Conference League. Well, that's not going to happen this year because they want to win the Champions League, so they're going to have to, And you've got, and there's a reason they didn't take up Sanchez's option, and that's that I find very interesting.
Well, the way they kind of operate, probably not as crazy as you might think. But let's just touch on the last player that we signed before. Obviously, looks like Colomwani is going to be completed later on. Is Xavi Simons, a player that I've been wanting for time, really, on a personal level, because I just loved how he played at Paris Saint-Germain, and I'm just glad we got him. And I was very shocked considering that Chelsea were close to getting him, but glad we got him.
I'm trying to think though. I mean, wasn't Kudus linked to Chelsea, and then apparently he said, "No, I don't want to go join Chelsea. I want to play for Spurs."
Yep, he was.
Yeah, see, Ghanaians. See, good bunch of lads, Ghanaians.
Well, I've heard rumours. But so once the international break is finished, I can't wait for it. Xavi Simons should be playing his first game against West Ham, as should Colomwani. I don't envisage this one falling through, but at the moment they still haven't mentioned that it's all gone through. But it should all go through. Everything's been agreed. It's just had his medical, or it's having his medical right now. Just in him getting to the taxi. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to wrap up tonight. It's been I did say I thought it might be a quiet one, and everyone in the group said it might be a quiet one, and that's kind of how it's been. And so thank you for everyone who's watched on YouTube and on Instagram. Any final thoughts? You happy with the transfer window? What would you give it? Marks out of 10.
You know what? You can't really score it really until the end of the season, really, can you? I mean, like, because if you look at it, because again, here's the thing, right? So do you remember? I remember what turned out to be our best window. Was it that I can remember? Was 2015? No, 2015, because we brought in
Magnificent Seven.
No. We brought in Dele Alli. We brought in Toby Alderweireld. We brought in Sonny, famously. Obviously, instead of Berahino. We brought in Kieran Trippier. We brought in, what's that lad's name? Kevin Wimmer. I think we also brought in, is that a French lad? I forgot his name. Clinton NG? NG? Clinton?
In GA, yeah.
NG. And I'm saying, look, out of what? So let's say you brought in like 5-6 players. So it was 6 players. Only Clinton NG didn't really do that much really for us. And I think we moved him on the following year. Kevin Wimmer, we ended up selling for what, 20 million to Stoke, which I don't think they were, obviously in hindsight was really bad for Stoke. But no, do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think, ask me again, but like we brought in what was it? Was it Colin Moana, who can play in the first team? He's been a first team player for a number of years. Paulinho was obviously the first team player apart from his 1 year in Germany from Munich. You've Kudus, who was a first team player at West Ham, kind of lost his way a little bit form wise, but has shown some good touches for us. And Simons, who you really rate, I've never seen apart from play for Holland, but is someone that I don't know. It's like Van der Vaart. I mean, nobody wanted. I mean, Van der Vaart we got very flukily because Bayern Munich didn't want him or couldn't get it together, and we got him at a bargain price. And Van der Vaart was what, player of the season that year? I think he was, and he really added that bit of quality, that ability to see the pass, that pass through the line. So which you want in that final third, and that's, if you think about it, we complain that Brandon Johnson, no one can find his runs. Well, hopefully, someone like, I mean, I'm not saying that Simmons is going to be the king of the Trivella, but I'm just saying if Pape, the way I look at it, but I'm saying if Pape Matar could find him and played a really good left foot pass, that's not what he does. If you've got someone like Simmons and you've got someone like, do you know what I'm saying, those kind of players that can play as line breaking passes. I mean, I don't think, I mean, obviously Simmons is the only one that can do that because obviously Madison's injured and everything else. But you've got that kind of player, then hopefully we can kind of get more of, like Sarr playing that. Say, look, yes, you're very tactically where you've got an engine, but you're also a good player as well. Show us your passing. You signed it once. Let's see more of that. Does that make any kind of sense?
It does. I hear you.
So yeah,
okay.
But thank you to everyone on YouTube for. I mean, I didn't see any of your comments, so I hope Chris saw them, but I didn't see any of them. But
no, unfortunately, when any comments through, I think people were just listening to it. But I
appreciate you guys listening to us on YouTube and Facebook. Chris, they can always find on. Please. Chris works so hard on doing his rants and going to the matches and doing his videos. Really appreciate Chris for all he does. I don't think Chris gets enough credit. So just want to give a real. I'm actually going to show my face because I say Chris face to face. We really appreciate you. I don't think we give enough credit to you. I gave you a lot of shit for Jollof Rice, but yeah, we do appreciate everything that Chris does for the group, and to Mike as well. Mike, who does a shed load with his tweeting and his posts and stuff like that. So appreciate all the guys that are engaged on the supplement. I don't engage much as I should do, but yeah, thank you. And like I said, let's look. I think we play against the Caravanners in a few weeks, and who knows? And who knows? They may be extremely confident, having got off the foot of the table, because they would have been literally 0 points if they hadn't, or maybe 1 point if they hadn't beaten Nottingham Forest. And they've got 3 points. They've got a bit of confidence about them. They're this is their cup final, and hopefully we can shut them the fuck up.
Looking forward to it already. Should be a good one. And thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for those kind words there, Shubes. And looking forward to seeing more of you in the group, which we actually do an away game at some point. But now it's time to wrap up. Thanks everyone for watching. I said you should do an away game. We should do an away game, and get that all sorted. But thanks for everyone for watching on YouTube and on
I barely the home games, but yeah.
But you all take care. Let us know at the bottom which of these transfers you are very excited to actually signed. Someone's written in the group chat that Lookman deal's not happening. We already knew that, but yeah, it says yeah, end of the transfer window for the summer. So now it's all about getting deep into the season. Got the Champions League starting in a couple of weeks, and so let's hope that the deals that we have done so far, that it all comes to fruition. Thanks again for tuning in. Let us know at the bottom what you think of the transfer window, and like and share and subscribe to the channel and all that. And any final words, Shubes?
No, I just want to say, so this is the first season without the old man, my uncle. I used to love watching matches with him, but he's sadly no longer with us. He passed away in July, and so I'm looking forward to making new memories with Chris, with Jake, Scotty. You know, the guys. We're very lucky that Chris and I are in a little group chat, and there's some really good people in there. Greg, Rye, Mike, Tommy. There's some really just and it's always Sam. There's always good bands, and do you know what? Let's just like I said, just let's enjoy the football. If the team doesn't play as well, please let's not dig out our players, especially not look. If you don't like Cowell or Barra Breath, yes, I get that. I don't like Cowell. I don't like Barra Breath that much. I do actually like Cowell. I do like Barra Breath actually. I don't like Lava Bread, but that's no reason to dig out Brennan Johnson. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna dig him out, for not for many other things, but that's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just saying, let's support the players, let's support the team, and just mean life is too short, so let's be nice to each other. And if you don't agree with someone, don't say, look, do you know what, I disagree, but don't call them a dick or something. I mean, unless they're a Tory or a reformer, then fuck those cunts. But yeah,
never true words spoken there. Thanks everyone for joining in. You all take care and come on, you Spurs. Let's get down to business now. We're only just 3 points off the top now after this weekend's results. The Bournemouth video should be uploaded tonight, hopefully, and so you can see how we just go. We're pouring out. But thanks all for tuning in. Come on, you Spurs. You all take care.